What if a baby was born with something impossible? Not a birthmark, not a deformity, but a tattoo, hey? Perfect ink black mark that matched a design from a missing persons case 1 that went cold. 20 years ago, doctors were horrified, the parents were speechless, and the police, they reopened a case no one wanted to touch again. This is the story of baby Noah. On a quiet spring morning in 2019, Emma and David Collins welcomed their first child at St. Helena's Hospital in Oregon. The birth was normal, peaceful even until one of the nurses gasped, "Doctor, you need to see this." On the baby's left shoulder blade, beneath a thin layer of newborn skin, was a clear, dark tattoo. Not a smudge, not a birthmark, but a precise circular symbol. It looked like a serpent biting its own tail, an Ouroboros, and beneath it in faint, curled letters was the number 301. David stared frozen. Emma whispered, "Is this normal?" The doctor stammered, "I've never seen anything like it. They ran tests, no. Ink, no infection. No skin abnormality. The tattoo was part of the baby's skin. Within hours, photos leaked online. The media called it the tattoo baby. But what no one knew yet was that this exact symbol had appeared before in a case file. Police had buried 2 decades earlier. Detective Mara Jensen was the one who recognized it. 20 years ago, she had investigated the disappearance of a teenage boy named Eli Carter. The only clue left behind was a symbol the same Ouroboros drawn in charcoal on his bedroom wall, with the number 300 beneath it. When she saw the baby's mark, her blood ran cold. "It's the next one," she whispered. Eli's case had been the last in a string of 20 missing teens, each disappearance marked by a number 281, number 282, all the way up to number 300. Each one vanished on the same night every spring, April 9th. The pattern ended abruptly until now the baby had been born on April 9th, 2019, exactly 20 years after Eli Carter disappeared. And his tattoo read number 301. Detective Jensen quietly reopened the case file. Emma and David were visited by the police a week later. They thought it was just a welfare check. But when Detective Jensen saw the baby's mark up close, she trembled. "Has anyone contacted you about this mark?" Emma shook her head. "No, why, what does it mean?" The detective hesitated. "It's connected to a series of abductions. We never found the victims, but every one of them left behind this symbol." David's face went pale. "Are you saying our baby is part of some ritual?" Jensen didn't answer. She simply said, "Keep your doors locked tonight." That night, Emma heard something. A faint humming sound from the baby monitor, rhythmic, like a lullaby, played backward. When she checked the screen, the camera was glitching lines across the image, shadows moving near the crib. She rushed in. The baby was fine, sleeping peacefully, but written on the wall above his crib in what looked like dust or ash were 3 new numbers, 302. Emma screamed. David came running, but when he turned on the lights, the numbers were gone. The wall was clean. They called the police, but no trace of writing could be found. Detective Jensen arrived the next morning. She didn't doubt Emma. She'd seen similar things before. In every missing person case, the number always appeared. One night before another person vanished, she started checking the neighborhood, the hospital staff, even the delivery records. That's when she found something chilling. The attending nurse at Noah's birth had no record of employment. Her name, Lydia Crane, wasn't in any system. No license, no ID. Jensen pulled up security footage. Lydia wasn't visible in any camera angle, even though 3 witnesses swore she was there. And on the door of the maternity ward, faintly visible in the reflection of the hospital glass, was that same serpent symbol. Desperate for answers, Jensen went back to the archived files. One report stood out from April 9th, 1999, the night Eli Carter vanished. A witness, an elderly woman, had told police she saw a woman in white carrying a newborn baby into the woods behind her house. The baby, she said, had a dark mark on its back, a snake biting its tail. But back then the police dismissed it as hysteria. Now Jensen felt the ground shift beneath her. What if these numbers weren't random? What if each disappearance was a birth somewhere else? Every time someone vanished, a baby was born with. The next number she checked birth records, hundreds of them. Every year on April 9th, somewhere in the country, a baby was born with a circular birthmark, not a tattoo, but similar. No one had ever connected the dots, and the night of April 8th, exactly. 1 year after Noah's birth, Emma and David were asleep when the baby monitor beeped again. The same humming returned deeper, this time almost mechanical. Then from the speaker, a whisper. "The next one comes tomorrow." Emma bolted uprighter, skin crawling. She ran to the nursery. The crib was empty. The window was open. The cold night wind blew in. On the wall this time, written clearly in ink, was a new number 302. They searched everywhere. No sign of Noah. Detective Jensen arrived minutes later, and her knees nearly buckled. It had happened again. She rushed to the station demanding to trace every local birth scheduled that night at 2:14 a.m. A call came from another hospital across town. Detective, a baby was just born with a mark. Same serpent number 302. Jensen whispered, "Then he's gone." But something was different this time. When the doctors cleaned the newborn skin, they noticed something beneath the tattoo faint, but visible under UV light. It was a set of initials. Majay Detective Mara Jensen. She froze. In the reflection of the incubator glass, she saw a woman standing behind her, pale with dark hollow eyes. It was the same missing nurse. Lydia Crane. Lydia smiled faintly and whispered, "You were the first one." Mara number 281. The lights flickered, the woman vanished. Jensen looked down at her arm, and for the first time she saw it, a faint circular mark hidden beneath her sleeve. A serpent biting its own tail. She stumbled back, horrified memories. She didn't. No, she had flooded in flashes of darkness, chanting a crib surrounded by candles. A whisper saying, "You'll find them all one day." She realized she hadn't been solving the mystery. She had been completing it. Each investigation, each birth. She documented each number. Added it all led back to her. That night, she went home, tore through her old photos, and found one from her. Childhood on her first birthday cake, barely visible under the icing. Someone had drawn the symbol of the serpent. The phone rang. A voice, calm, familiar, said, "Congratulations, Detective number 303 arrives next year." Click A. Year later on April 9th, another baby was born, this time in another state. Healthy, perfect, and on its shoulder a small tattoo. A serpent biting. Its tail. Below it the number 303. The attending doctor's name was Dr. Mara Jensen. No one ever heard from her again.